everyone. Welcome to this week's Karma Cards. I cannot wait to talk to you today about one of my favorite topics, which is manifesting. And you probably already know a lot about manifesting, but I want to break this down to something super simple so that no matter what it is you're calling in, no matter how small or big, you feel like you know every single thing you need to do to make it happen. But before I go into that, I wanted to share with you why this is the topic my team brought up this week. And I've got two awesome reasons why. The first one is that we have a new moon plus partial solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus this Saturday, April 30th. Now, Taurus is that sign of worth and wealth. It is the sign of possessions and material goods, but also ambiance, sensuality, love. It's one of the most sumptuous signs, and it's ruled by Venus. So there's an interesting connection there between that which we value and love. So I just want to put that in there because that all happens inside the sign of Taurus. And this new moon is going to be particularly potent for manifesting financial abundance because Venus and Taurus both work with the financial energy. And so I wanted to go over manifesting with you around that. And the next Mercury Pod launches May 2nd. So Mercury Pod is my group coaching program. It's a 30-day program where I help you turn your inspiration into action by breaking it down into smaller steps that you take every day with full accountability so that you can make real growth in 30 days. So if both of those things sound amazing or you want to be a part of them, there will be links below in the description so that you can find out how you can join me for either one of those experiences. Now, both the Taurus new moon and the Mercury pod deal with manifestation. So with the Mercury pod, we're already looking at something we have desired, and we're looking at how to move into action around it so that we can start creating it now. With the new moon, we're looking at what intention am I going to set and what are the feelings that I want to have around it. So let's talk about this easy way to remember how to potently manifest. So here's the simple formula that I want you to remember next time you're trying to manifest something. Thought, word, deed, secret sauce. Thought, word, deed, secret sauce. And I'm going to tell you what that secret sauce is. So let's look at this. It's pretty simple, right? Thought, word, deed. So we're starting with an intention. We are speaking and writing down our desire. We are taking aligned action that matches our desire. And then we're adding the secret sauce. And to do this, I want to talk you through this manifestation technique, which is the manifestation technique, by the way. It's just simplified so that we remember every single step in creating what we desire. To illustrate this point, I'm going to use a really simple metaphor of going to a restaurant because we've all done it and we all understand the experience, and it shows us just how simple it is to manifest. First, we start with thought. So we're looking at the menu of everything we can order at this restaurant and we're thinking to ourselves, what do I want the most? Simple, right? Next, we move into word, which we then speak our desire to the waitstaff. We are asking for what we want. In terms of manifesting, this could be spoken aloud in prayer. You can write it down. You can do both. But we are verbalizing in some way our intention. The next step is action. And your action step is the step which you're preparing to get what you want. So you might take your napkin, lay it into your lap, move the silverware the way you like it so that when the plate comes, it's ready to sit right in front of you, move your drink. These are all little actions that we're taking to prepare to get what we want. We are already visualizing it coming into our field and we're expecting to get it. So we're prepping the space for it with the full intention that we will get exactly what we want. And finally, the special sauce. Are you ready for the special sauce? Special sauce is to surrender, to let go, to trust that what you have asked for is being worked on and is on its way to you. Now, what's really interesting is that with this metaphor of eating out at a restaurant, you do this naturally. You let it go. Have you noticed that you don't like get up and pace around and like go to the kitchen and look through their little window and ask them, are they working on it? No, you let go, you relax, you sit back, you enjoy yourself with full anticipation that you're going to get what you asked for. You let it go, you relax. And that is a key that many times when we're manifesting, and notice that the bigger the manifestation, the more you hold on to it. But relaxation and surrender is the key. It's that trust element. It is the belief that you're going to get what you ask for. And the stronger that belief is, the more magnetic you become to attracting your goal. So here's the thing I see a lot, which is why I was inspired to create the Mercury Pod. I see people are really good at knowing what they want. I see people really good at being able to state what they want and write it down. The two areas that I see people either get tripped up over or retract is taking action or surrender, or sometimes both. So let's look at taking action really quickly. Here's where people get tripped up. They let this get too big for them, right? They go into panic over how. So when you hear action, do you think I have to know how? If so, type yes in the chat, because it's okay. I've been there too. I know exactly how that feels. But I just want you to see that other people feel that way too. So when we think about I have to take action, it means I have to know how. And I want to help you reframe this for yourself so that you take action immediately without overwhelming yourself. Here's the deal. The how is the universe's job, not your job. You let go of the how. The preparation is your action. Prepare to get it. So for example, let's say I desire a new desk and you have a certain one in mind and maybe it's more expensive than you want to spend on something right now, but you're determined that this desk, that you'll wait for this desk if you have to, just to get it into your home. The way that you prepare for it is you take small actions, like, for example, decide where it's going to live. Once you've decided, clean the stuff that's in that space out of the way so that you're leaving a space. You are literally waiting for that desk to come in. You are making a home for that desk. Maybe you find other accessories to go on that desk so that it feels more like the desk in your mind. These are little tiny action steps. It's not how do I get the money for this amazing desk I'm dreaming about. It's how do I prepare to get what I want. Isn't that an interesting shift? And don't you feel a shift in yourself when you take all that pressure off of you that I have to know how I'm going to do this? No, you don't have to know how. You have to prepare to get what you want. And that's how you take action. That is what I'm working with people on inside the Mercury Pod. Because again and again, people move into overwhelm. All you have to do is move into preparation. You still have to take action, but it's a much simpler and focused action versus how do I solve this problem? Give it to the universe. And that brings me to the second part, which is give it over to a higher power. Trust in the universe that it's hearing you. It heard what you want, it sees you preparing, and it's bringing it into you because you're becoming magnetic. So when we let go, that is the trust, right? When we let go of how do I do this, that is the trust. And the surrender is to simply go, I don't have to know. I just have to decide. So I want you to keep that with you. This is a very powerful mantra that I've used many times in my life to help me create. I don't have to know. I just have to decide. When you allow yourself to do that, you become more magnetic as a manifester, as a creator. So those are your steps. The 4 steps: thought, word, deed, secret sauce. I hope that helps you. And now I want to go into this week's karma cards. All right, for those of you who are new to karma cards, let me quickly show you how they work. I have 3 decks here: planets, signs of the zodiac, and the houses of astrology. And I've already asked my team, what is the message you have for us this week? And I've got 3 sets of answers: a set in red, which are action related, and a set in blue, which are outcome related. And all you have to do to play is tune into your own intuition and feel, what is it that you need right now? Do you need action-related guidance or outcome-related guidance? And of course, you can always choose both. While you are choosing, let me tell you the timing for this reading. This reading is for April 27th through May 4th. And the flavor of this reading. This is cool. We've got Venus, a very good card, a very good planet to get. Venus is the ruler of Taurus, so it's very cool that she's showing up for this week's reading because, like I said, we have the new moon in Taurus happening on Saturday. In the sign of Cancer, now Cancer is our feeling and intuitive state, so this is reminding us that a lot of what we're going to be attracting is going to be through our feeling state, which makes sense. I mean, you really have to feel it real whenever you're creating. And that's really part of the action sequence in the thought word deed, the deed part. Preparing is a feeling, right? In the 3rd house of communication. Now this is interesting because it's ruled by Mercury, the 3rd house. And we also, I don't want to be a bummer here, but we're getting close to our first Mercury retrograde of the year. I believe that's happening, I have to look, but I want to say it's around the 12th. It's coming up here. So, communication is the focus for this week. Let's see what it has to say. For those who are choosing action, your spiritual action is to cherish your feelings by making the right connections. Actually, this is interesting because it came up with the last Mercury pod, but we talked a lot about processing what we feel. So whenever we are hesitant to take action, and remember that was one of the areas in manifesting that I see a lot of people either feel overwhelmed by or back away from, is the taking action part. And it usually has to do with, first, like, how are you viewing what is taking action around your goal? And 2, what is the feeling, what are you protecting yourself from? Right? So that's a great question to ask whenever you find yourself in a place of procrastination where you really want to move forward, but you're hesitating. Ask yourself, what am I protecting myself from? Many times there is a protection aspect of yourself coming forward, and it's been doing this job the whole time where it is intending to protect you from the thing you're afraid of. For a lot of people, it's failure. I'm afraid to fail. And so the protection personality comes forward and is like, right, well, we're not doing this because that's my job to protect you from it. And what I want you to understand is we need to respect and appreciate the part of us that's protecting us. This part is an older part of ourselves. It was developed at specific times in your life where you did feel like whatever was happening was leaving you too vulnerable or unprotected. And so a part of your personality developed around it. And a lot of times we don't understand the parts of us that are in resistance or protecting us. And we tend to get really pissed at those parts. Like, why are you, it feels like there's a war going on inside. There's two different things happening inside of me. A part of me wants it, a part of me doesn't want it. And we don't understand why we can't get all of ourselves on board. And the thing is, we need to come to that part of ourselves with a whole different approach. If you're coming to that resistant part of yourself with the approach of, you suck, and every time you do this, I fail, and my life gets worse. Well, in that part, it's just like any other human being, right? It's going to be hurt, and it's going to resist you more because it doesn't trust you, right? So this is saying cherish your feelings, and by making the right connections, understand that every part of you is here in service to you. So we want to actually learn how to appreciate those parts of ourselves that we don't fully understand. They serve a purpose. We need to find out what that purpose is, and then we need to befriend that part and ask them to work with us. If that sounds like something that you really want to get underneath and you don't know how, I definitely would recommend checking out the Mercury pod, because we do a lot of that work inside there based on whatever it is you're trying to create in your life. So we will be able to address that key point right there. Who's in the way, and how do we understand, love, and appreciate them and get them on our side? Mental action at this time. Enjoy attitudes from the past about the idea in question. So the idea in question here, we're going to focus around what it is we're manifesting, because that's the energy that the team's asking us to talk about. So whatever we're manifesting, enjoy attitudes from the past about whatever it is you're trying to manifest. So I want you to ask yourself this week, is there something that I keep intending to manifest in my life? How long have I been working on this one? And then go back and see if you can feel the seed point of when that dream or desire showed up in your life. Really spend time in contemplation or meditation connecting with that. That's a big part of this right now. And get back in touch with that original feeling, right? Before you felt like this was too hard, there was a part of you that was very gung-ho about it. Get in touch with that part of yourself this time. Physical action at this time. Charm, art, and beauty are the way to use your intuition and get your ideas going. This goes back to that first statement that I was talking to you about that part of you that's not on board for whatever reason. It feels like it needs to protect you from your own desires, right? Or your own manifestations. That part, so it's like the saying goes, right, that you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. It's that same approach. That's the charm, art, and beauty that we're using here. We're going to charm the parts of ourselves that are in resistance and to bring them over so that we're creating integration within ourselves rather than staying in conflict internally. And that's how you're going to get your ideas going. Not only that, but it perks up your intuition because you're now adding an aspect of yourself back to you. So this goes into a much bigger topic, but talking about the fact that we're a multi-dimensional being in more than one sense. Yes, we're physical and non-physical, but we're so much more than that. And I think the best metaphor for this is to see yourself as a many-faceted crystal. I'm like looking at, who can I bring up here? You guys. See yourself like a many-faceted crystal, and each face represents a different part of you, a different part of your experience, different parts of your personality that make the totality of you. And when we're not in unification with ourselves, we just don't have all the access to our own knowledge, our own intelligence, our own experience if we stay fragmented, right? If we only see ourselves as, I'm trying to think of like, if you only saw yourself as like a strong person, I'm a strong person, then you might be rejecting your vulnerability. And your vulnerability also holds so much information about you. So it isn't until you realize you can be strong and vulnerable that you are sort of like keeping parts of your psyche out of your consciousness. It secedes back into your subconsciousness. So that means you can't fully consciously access all that information. When you start doing this work of integration, bringing these parts together, realizing every part has value, even if it's not taking the actions or the thoughts that I want, it still has value. When you start to see that, you start to integrate. As you start to integrate, your intuition opens up more, and then those big ideas, the things that you're really cooking with destiny, start coming out for you. All right, so now let's go to outcomes in Venus in Cancer in the third house of communication. For those choosing outcome, your spiritual outcome at this time is the attraction of intuition to protect your ideas. Yeah, so this basically piggybacks on top of what I just stated about bringing facets of yourself together, creating more internal unification so that you can increase your own intuition. And by doing so, that creates a different kind of protection, not the kind that maybe you're currently using to protect yourself from things like failure or disappointment, but a different kind of protection of being more fully present with yourself, standing more in your power. And that creates a new type of protection that's more aligned. So all parts start to line up with each other rather than having that internal feeling of separation or fragmentation. Mental outcome, pleasure from attitudes from the past about short-term thinking and trips. Short-term thinking and trips just implies what's right in front of you, what's happening now. So the third house is ruled by Gemini, who's ruled by Mercury. And Gemini is about what is happening internally with me, what's happening around me, right? It's a level of intelligence that's dealing with what's directly in front of you. So pleasure from attitudes from the past about what's directly in front of you. I think that when we do this work, where we dig in and meet parts of ourselves, we find out where they sort of fractured, where they went in a different direction. And we can also find that part where there was unification before that split happened inside. And so as we do this work of contemplating about, like, for example, contemplating the thing you're trying to manifest. Have you been trying to manifest it before? Is it a manifestation you keep revisiting? When was the first time? Can you identify the first time you consciously thought, I want to make this, or I want to attract this? Go back to that place. See who was, where did you feel more unified when you were desiring that manifestation for the first time? Go back to that place, and you might notice that there's a beautiful resonance that you feel in the body. Like, yeah, I kind of, like, all of me felt like it was possible. All of me felt like it was on board. And I think that's what creates the pleasure around what you're trying to create right now. Because notice if you're, I know so many people who manifest or work on manifesting, and these people are not quitters, okay? They don't give up. So if they tried once and it didn't happen, they dust themselves off and they keep trying. And I love them for that. But you'll notice, like, as you keep trying, it kind of, like anything that you do repetitively, it wears you down after a while. You need to sort of refresh yourself by going back to the first time when the possibility felt fully open, and just feel your energy in the past. Okay, feel your energy in the past around what you're trying to manifest now. So a lot of times it's like money or a certain circumstance that you're trying to manifest. Feel the energy around the first time you desired it, and how cohesive do you feel in your body? Once you can identify that, you can carry that feeling forward. You don't even have to know all the aspects and you don't have to know the articulation of how it's breaking down. You just need to hone in on that feeling, lock into on where is it in the body, what does the sensation feel like, and bring it forward into this present moment. And that is going to create pleasure in the body right there. Physical outcome, good times resulting from the history of who and what is around you. When I hear this, and when I think about it in terms of manifesting, this is where there's a powerful exercise in actually looking around your life and seeing what you've already created. So whatever's in front of you right now, even the screen you're watching this on, you created that in your life. The history of who and what is around you, the history of what you've created in your life so far. Some of it you may really love, and some of it you may really wish you could change. But the gratitude and appreciation of it all, the recognition of the powerful creator you are, that reinvigorates you, that re-enlivens you, that makes it all so much, it brings it back to life, and that creates that good feeling, good time energy. So take stock in what you've created, because at some point you wanted that. Whatever you have now, you wanted it, and you created it, and it's here now, and it's proof of how powerful a creator you are. So sit with that, enjoy it, let that flood you with good feelings, and let it lift you up so that you know that your ability to create whatever you want next is absolutely within your control. And if you'd like support doing it quickly, if you want to move into fast action, get out of procrastination and into traction where you're actually seeing your results, you can join me for the May Mercury Pod by going to the Mercury Pod link below. And I would love to support you for the next 30 days. And you'll get more information when you follow that link. And until next time, sending you so much love. Mwah. Thank you for watching. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell so that you know the next time I release a new video. Until then, stay magical. My name is Therese Tucker, and I want to welcome you to Mercury Pod Coaching. I created this group coaching program to help you move out of procrastination and into traction towards your big goals. I know how it feels to dream really big and then all of a sudden find yourself sitting there spinning in place, not getting anywhere closer to your goal. It can be really easy to get caught up in feeling flustered and confused and not know what action to take, and so you completely stop taking any action at all. If this sounds familiar to you, then there's a good chance that you've got some mindset blocks in the way that are preventing you from taking actions right now that can get you closer to your big dream and create real change in your life. Here's what you need. You need someone who can see those mindset blocks and help you get out of indecision, move into inspired action, and do it quickly. And that's where I come in. So what is the Mercury Coaching Pod? It is a 30-day coaching program where you will have weekly coaching calls live with me to help you implement your plans and take action now. In this group coaching program, you will also get one private session with me where we can completely deep dive into what it is you're trying to create, and I can help you create the action tasks that you're going to need to complete in 30 days to get ahead. If you're ready to jumpstart your goals and get going right now, then you are the perfect person for this pod coaching program. So if you're interested, hit the Get Access button below. And of course, I look forward to seeing you in the Mercury Pod Coaching Program. All my love. Mwah.